Hey everyone, this is Jordan with Food Bevy, the online community for food and beverage founders. And today I'm talking with Bridget Connolly of Luna Bay Beach, CEO and co-founder. So Bridget, thanks so much for being on today. Would love to hear, what is Luna Bay Booch and how did you get started?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Luna Bay Booch is a hard kombucha company, and we are brewed and founded in Chicago, Illinois. And we make our products with all non-GMO ingredients, gluten-free, it's vegan, and it is brewed to a 6% ABV. So it's a slightly boozy booch, or a better for you alcohol, is like we like to call it.
That's awesome. So Boozy Booch.
Yeah.
I know kombucha is like all the rage and, still is growing over the last couple of years, and adding alcohol to it or fermenting in alcohol. How did you jump into this?
Yeah, so I am born and raised in Chicago, and then I moved out to California about 10 years ago. And through just my life purpose, I've been in California, and then I moved to Australia and back to Chicago for a little bit, and have always kind of been in the health and wellness space. And it's always been something really important to me, how I take care of myself, what I put in my body. But I also grew up Irish Catholic in Chicago. I like to have fun as well. So, finding that balance. And I worked for Lululemon for a long time, and that's a really important company to me. I mean, they've been a really important part of my journey and my career. And so, when I moved back to California a couple years ago from Australia with Lululemon, I realized, a hard kombucha space was taking off out here. And typically I've seen how trends take off in the West Coast and eventually go back to the Midwest. So I wanted to just get ahead of it. I wanted to take it home to my home city in Chicago. So that's what I did. We started brewing there last summer and launched in Chicago last fall in the hard kombucha space.
So as we all know, launching a food or beverage business is super easy.
Yes.
In fact, the opposite. So walk me through, like, what are some of those initial steps that you took along that journey? So you knew you wanted to make a hard kombucha. What did you do next?
Yeah, so for me, I'm very much a visionary and dreamer. And so I've always had odd jobs throughout my life, writing, blogging, storytelling, photography. And so I had to envision it. I had to really just like touch it and grasp it and feel it. And what that looked like was starting to work on the cans and the design and the vision. So before we even had a product was really the vision of like creating, what does this look like? What does it mean? Why would people want to drink this product? Bring people together, very conscious like community. And so my former job, I then met a designer and we started working on the cans. And so we had the tangible like cans, the deck, the vision before we had the product. So we kind of worked backwards. And we pitched it to the Whole Foods team in the Midwest, and they loved it. They couldn't really get their hands on it in California yet. So, we had that, and then we were like, okay, let's try to figure out how to make it now. And then we worked backwards.
That's cool. So how are you making it? Are you like running your own operation? Do you find the partner that's making it work for you? What'd you do?
Yeah. So, and when I started, I knew I wanted to do a hard kombucha company. And I was like, I have to figure out how to make kombucha. So I started reaching out to a bunch of people about if they knew how to make it or hard kombucha. And San Diego, where I live, is a very hard kombucha capital. So I was meeting people at Boochcraft and Juneshine and, getting to know what they were up to in the space. And so it was really helpful to see the industry and the trends. So started learning a bit, and then a mutual connection connected me with a woman named Claire Ridge, and she is one of the founders, and she is in Chicago, and she was making regular kombucha. So I had called her up. I said, I want to make hard kombucha. Do you want to try to figure it out with me? And so we knew the process of starting it, but there was still so much work ahead of us. And then we realized, really the science behind it was so much more than we even knew. So we tapped into a food scientist, a microbiologist, a couple labs, a couple universities, and then just began the process of just really trying to figure out how to make it. So we did about 7 months of R&D on it before we really got into brewing in, larger scale production. And what that looked like at a home-based level was very different, obviously, than tanks and equipment. So we launched in kind of an incubator brewery in Chicago in Logan Square. And that's really where the process came to life with those brewers, with our microbiologist, with the sour beer brewer, and really honing in on that recipe.
So as we've talked about, right, this journey can be fraught with barriers. What are some of the things that you're most proud of, though? Like, what are your most proud accomplishments so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been the hardest year of my life, but it's also taught me so much about myself, about my strength, resilience, and I think just in this last year, it's been difficult for everyone. It has been such a interesting season for us all, and so I think part of like why my purpose on this planet is to bring people together, to bring joy, to celebrate life in all the little and big things. So for me, some of these events that we've had for Luna Bay and, looking around a room and seeing people together, cheersing, celebrating, having joy, just moments of joy, like those are the times I'm like, this was what I was meant to do. I'm also like, I love storytelling. So creating like marketing campaigns and videos and bringing people together and just seeing people have fun and enjoy it and then drink something that I love, like that makes it so worthwhile.
And then, I mean, I think that's amazing. And it's so important to know your purpose and vision while doing this, and to hear that coming to fruition is so amazing. As you are looking over the last like couple months, like what has that been like to grow Luna Bay, like during a pandemic? How have you been getting people to try the product? And what are some of the things that you've been doing on the marketing side?
Yeah. So it's definitely been a new journey every feels like week. But I think in a place of gratitude, like we are lucky that people are looking for more health conscious drinks. People are drinking at home and they want to have fun but enjoy themselves and take care of themselves. So probiotic and our product being non-GMO and vegan has definitely been helpful and gluten-free. And the industry is showing more and more people are interested in kombucha and the microbiome and gut health. And then also alcohol. I mean, alcohol trends like have gone up significantly as well. So what we launched with last year, we were just going to start with Illinois, maybe Colorado, because we added an additional brewery in Colorado. But then it kind of took off. So we ended up adding California, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maine, Wisconsin. We just added New York and New Jersey. So it's just been a really and there's only been 5 of us, 5 females. I truly believe everything happens for a reason because Joanna, who's our head production and quality assurance in Colorado, came into our lives, and Julie, who is our head of marketing and sales, and then Brittany Frazier as well, who is our market and sales manager. The 5 of us have worked overtime, have put everything we could, into this, and have really just been smart about how to sell in a digital world. I mean, we are doing email campaigns, social media, targeted ads, making phone calls, sending handwritten cards, building relationships, but in virtually. So it's been difficult. Obviously, there's you have to just keep up with the consumer trends and, in each market, but it's also been really rewarding, and we are growing, and, consumers are buying week over week, and we'll soon have more team members, so that'll be even better to balance this out.
Amazing. And what support are you looking for? Like what's next, and what support are you looking for from the industry to help you get there?
Yeah. So for us, what's next is adding more markets and in product innovation. There's so many things happening in this space. So, new lines of product, lighter versions, special edition versions. And continuing to do research and development so we can have one of the best quality products out there, which I truly believe ours is. And then just more people on our team. I mean, I think it's interesting. We're almost a family at this point. There's just 5 of us, but we really need to add and we need to keep growing. So for us in the industry is just, I think, brand awareness, because I think people are looking for better for you alcohol, and hard kombucha is a category that's not a fad. It's here to stay, and it's one of the best selling categories in Southern California. And I know that that's just going to continue to, be something. I mean, I think you look at the hard seltzer space and it's taken off, but there isn't any functional qualities, and people are looking for functional beverages. So I think just more brand awareness on the space is what I would love to see in the space.
And I know you're still early on your journey, but if you could give one piece of advice to a founder just starting out, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I think there will always be so many, naysayers. You'll have so many people, you're up against the odds. But belief in yourself against, above all else of, giving yourself the confidence and, sometimes I even like voice memo myself and, like, you got it, like you're doing it, and it's believing in yourself for even trying. And then, also like you have to just point it into a direction that you want to go in and then hold it lightly. Your plans, what we planned for last year is nothing that we're doing now. And it's like to be able to let go of like what you really, really want and just be able to be like, it might go this way, it might go that way, and it might be completely different than where I started. And just being grateful for the journey and the ride. Like we get to be alive, we're breathing, we're healthy, we're being able to, follow your dream and pursue something. Even that much is more than most people will ever do. So just being proud of yourself and holding your vision lightly wherever it's going, point in the direction, but don't get too tied to an outcome because you could really start spiraling if you, kind of let it go and just let it be in a flow. It will happen for you.
Great advice. I love that. Well, Bridget, thanks so much for being on today. I really appreciate our conversation. It was so much fun.
Yes, I hope so. And I hope you get to try Luna Bay Booch soon. It's really good. We'll get
Will
you.
do. Thanks so
All
much.
right. You're welcome. See you later.